Smarter, I would have treated her well and made sure to get her inheritance. But I was a fool and got addicted to the good life. I spent $1,000 each month on clothes alone and made friends with other rich girls from my neighborhood. It was a fancy life, but when I turned 18, the old lady had enough of my behavior and threw me out. I was unwilling to go back into poverty and asked around if any of the other neighbors needed a babysitter or maid. Sure, I was uneducated and not anyone's first choice, but I had heard rumors that one of the neighbors was not getting along with his wife anymore. So I knocked on his door and said, "Hey neighbor, I'm really in need for a job because my grandma just threw me out. Are you looking for a babysitter?" "No, not really." "Are you sure? Because I would stay overnight to take care of your kids and help you with anything you want. I also heard gossip that you and your wife have relationship problems and that she moved into a hotel. So let's just see how things turn out." He looked dazzled but let me in. His kids were already asleep, so we sat down to drink some wine and talk. I made up lies to make him pity me, like saying I had been in and out of foster care my whole life. But I don't think that was even necessary. I mean, I was young and good-looking, and he was in his 40s and frustrated with his wife. I quickly had him under my spell. We went to bed together, and I thought I had made it. Finally, a guy with enough resources to take care of me. But after a week of us living together, he told me he was going to try again with his wife. I responded, "Am I not good enough for you?" "Oh, I'm doing it strictly for my kids. I don't want them to go through a divorce." Well, his wife moved back in and she hated me. She told me to stop wearing yoga pants and kept telling her husband to throw me out. She said they didn't need a babysitter. Honestly, I don't understand why a man would stay with a woman like her. She was overweight, old, and did nothing but complain. But he gave in to her demands and threw me out. I mean, he also rented me a one-bedroom apartment in the city where he secretly visited me behind his wife's back, but I still felt like a second-class citizen. One time, he promised to take me out for dinner on a Friday night, but canceled it last minute because his wife made problems. I realized I couldn't just be a mistress, but that I needed to marry a rich guy to be secure. I first tried to find a rich man at top-end bars, but it didn't work out. They already had many girls around them and many prettier than me. So I decided to instead just get pregnant by my sugar daddy. If he had kids with his current wife and me, he'd choose me over her any day, I thought. But as irony would have it, on the day I took my first pregnancy test, which came out negative, I had a plumber come by my home to fix the drain. He actually dared to ask me, "Any plans for tonight?" "Yeah, I'll go to a fancy dinner." Oh God, how boring. You should do something instead. Like let me take you out to a bar. I couldn't believe how confident this guy was.